So part 3 of the pregnant stakeout. So boom, we end up leaving the emergency room. He take me home. He go home, and I really kind of didn't want to be around him at that point in time, because it was just like, he really, like, the whole trip was silence. Like, he ain't say nothing the whole trip. Like, if I'm lying, I'm flying off the ground yet. The whole ride home, that man ain't say not a word. He ain't say shit. And so I got home and I just started contemplating, because at this point, like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, because, like, I know that I'm not going. Nah, don't get me wrong, I don't never want a man not to be there for his kids, but I knew that I didn't want to be in a situation with Mark. So I for a couple days I didn't answer the phone. I didn't go to work. I let my boss know what's going on, so I took PTO. Prepare the others. I took PTO. I just was not in the mood, because at this point life was about to start kicking in, to where, like, now I'm about to be a mom of 3. And so boom, I want to say about day 3, maybe about day 3, I hadn't really heard from Mark like that. Mind you, like I said, we live in the same apartment complex, so you gotta ride past my house to leave out anyways. So I hadn't heard from him. I ended up calling him, because now I gotta set an appointment or whatever, right? And I set an appointment. We end up going to the I ended up setting an appointment. I never forget. And I went to my doctor, the same doctor that delivered my daughter. And we get into the appointment so I can see, like, how far along I am and all that stuff like that. And they do another ultrasound. Immediately after that ultrasound, the lady walks out the room. Here we go again with this bullshit, is all I could think in my head. Here we go again. Because what you walking out the room for? What we doing, sis? She walk out the room. I'm like, okay. She was like, the doctor coming in. When the doctor came in, she did another ultrasound. All of a sudden, her face dropped. In the midst of her face dropping, she tells me, congratulations, but I got something to tell you. I need you to sit down. I need you to come to the other room. So went to the other room next door, and she was like, your babies are 6 weeks and 8 weeks. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if they twins, then why the hell they ain't, what's going on? They not, how's one 6 weeks and how's one 8 weeks? She was like, your babies don't have a heartbeat. She was like, one stopped growing at 6 weeks, one stopped growing at 8 weeks. And I was supposed to be around that time. I was supposed to be like 12 weeks or something. It was like something in that range or something. It was like, I was supposed to be like either like 9 weeks or it was something of that range. They just were not, it wasn't no heartbeat, wasn't no activity, wasn't no nothing. So she was like, we're gonna have to give you a DNC. He just looked at me, he started crying. I just looked at him, because I was just like, in my heart of hearts, I was just like, you know what? Maybe this is God's way of telling me that I don't need to be with this man. But again, I am dumb. Young and dumb. So my doctor ordered a DNC. If you don't know what DNC is, it's basically where once, this was before all these acts and laws came about, but once there's no activity from the baby, you get a DNC. DNC basically like push it out to where you have like a miscarriage or whatever. So, boom. Y'all come back for part 4.